Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second try of the second edition
They didn't need
of
to know
BTB Now. They did need to know that.
I made a too good of a robot dabbing joke for it not to be brought up.
It wasn't good.
Okay, well, that's all you need to know. Anyways, we're back again with Nick Bogatis, Jason Cantor, and myself, Ray Dunn. Second week. We survived the first week of the website. Thoughts?
Barely. What a train wreck. Okay, wait, hold on. I had to go on a little bit of rant here. Whose bright idea was it to launch a sports blog in July?
I feel like that's all three of us.
I feel like, okay, I understand that I can sometimes be an idiot. But how the two, and Cantor, you're an idiot too. But how Ray signed off on this? Actually, the intern is probably the smartest out of all of us. How he let us sign off?
He let us
sign
show with him before. Nope, not fair.
That's
okay.
That's
regardless. Almost every
How so many people signed off on a sports blog that was going to be launching in July when there's nothing to talk about at all except Lonzo Ball's shoes. And not even his shoes, just other people's shoes that he happens to be wearing. I hate July, dude.
Huh.
No,
See,
I love LeVar. But I can't stand talking about Lonzo's shoes.
In fairness, Lonzo Ball is the type of figure where we would be talking about this if it happened in January.
No, we wouldn't.
Yes, we would.
We would not.
A half-hour segment on Sports Center about what.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's the summer league.
Hold on, you're forgetting LeBron Jordan was a common topic during like January and February and March.
Okay, you're right. That's fair. The issue here is ESPN, because ESPN has figured out,
and Fox.
Get the list out.
Huh? Okay.
Of the people you're insulting, you're going to go right at
ESPN. It's ESPN, but it's not just ESPN.
No, it's ESPN because everybody follows ESPN. Fox follows ESPN. NBC follows ESPN. ESPN has decided that basketball is the be-all, end-all of sports. They've been covering the summer league more than the MLB for whatever reason, and just because the NFL isn't around anymore for now.
Don't get me started on the summer league.
I can't believe you're advocating for more baseball talk.
Yeah, I know, how wild. By the way, do you remember what's his name?
Oh my god.
Xavier Nady.
Yes.
He was the man.
All right. Before we get too far off topic, subject for one of the things we want to talk about tonight, but it's not summer league basketball. Allen Iverson sat out in the Big Three when it was in Philly, the big hyped-up matchup of Dr. J's team. Jason, I'm going to defer to you as the Philly guy to start our conversation.
Wait, before you start, can someone tell me the story? Because you guys have been talking about it.
I'll tell you the story.
I didn't even hear about it.
Okay, so the Big Three was in Philly yesterday. I think it's actually airing right now. I hope nobody's watching it.
It is. Watching the show.
But so I'm pretty sure it's on Fox right now. But so it was a big deal in Philly because Iverson was supposed to be playing in it. He's been like a player coach for the other. I think this is like the fourth city they've been to.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's airing now, but they actually played the games last night at maybe like 7 or 8 o'clock.
Wait, hold up. We're watching like former professional players. Well, this is like a semi-professional like tournament, right?
Yeah.
So we're watching almost pro basketball on tape delay.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. But I guess, and it's ridiculous, but I guess the idea behind the league is it's more entertainment than like actually caring about the scores. Like, you don't care about if Allen Iverson or Rashard Lewis's team wins. You just want to watch Allen Iverson and Rashard Lewis.
Well, first of all, a lot of these, from what I've heard about, I haven't watched a single game, but from what I've heard, a lot of these guys are like former fringe NBA guys who.
Kwame Brown.
Yeah, Kwame Brown's pretty good. Like, not number one pick good, but
Ask Stephen A. Smith that.
he's pretty good. So a lot of these guys are looking for a second shot in Europe or the NBA or wherever.
I don't think so. Maybe some of them.
No, I
but
think
then
these are guys that
Kwame Brown's like in his mid-30s. Like I think he's over the hill.
But,
And
and regardless, even if it's all about entertainment, I mean, even WWE goes live. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
Raw live.
Maybe they couldn't get a deal, but I think it's
Hold up.
getting enough pub where they will get a deal next year.
hold up, Jason. I
Yeah.
think this league is kind of the whole like retirement home of NBA guys.
Yeah,
Like,
it
these are
is.
guys who are pure basketball players. You're not going to watch Kwame Brown game on ESPN. You're not going to have Allen Iverson coach the Pacers next year.
That's
These are
what I'm
guys
saying.
who are
That's
basketball
what I'm saying.
players.
Wait, hold on. Speaking of which, I hate to keep interrupting, but were you guys aware that Earl Watson is the coach of the Suns?
I don't know who that is.
He used to he played for the Jazz for a while. No, I'm being genuine here. So he played for the Jazz for a while. I thought he was still
I'm disappointed.
I thought he was still on the Jazz. Apparently he's coaching the Suns.
That's good.
So you said player coaches. I thought player coaches. Magic Johnson skipped past that one and then went to Earl Watson.
Okay, so
What
anyway,
I mean is that these guys in the big three, NBA wise, but the whole idea behind this is that they're not guys that are going to retire and be your, oh, I'll sit on the studio or oh, I'll go coach someone or I'll
Oh
go
yeah,
Larry
no, I
Bird
can
it.
appreciate that.
because there was Chauncey Billups was in it, White Chocolate was in it, and then he blew out his knee. It's guys like legit basketball players, and like White
Mhm.
Chocolate especially, like you and entertainment value out of that. Anyway, so it was a big deal in Philly. It was supposed to be because it was Iverson actually playing a game at the Wells Fargo Center,
Mhm.
and so I think they actually started playing the games at like 7 or 8 o'clock last night, and at
Yeah.
about 6:30, the big three announces that Iverson. Are you telling me to cut it? Or are you
I'm telling you to cut it.
why?
I'm pretty sure the Iverson credit here to Teddy Bailey. I read his article on there. I don't want to be accused of stealing any of his stuff at all.
At by Teddy Bailey.
By Teddy Bailey. I don't want to steal his stuff, but I'm pretty sure the game is supposed to be at 5:30. And
Was it a 5:30? Okay, I don't know. But whenever
nightcap. It was like the reason why people were sticking around.
exactly. So I'm spewing times. Whatever the times are irrelevant to what I'm saying. The point is that they announced that Iverson wasn't playing by the time everyone was already in. Everyone that bought tickets and was in the arena to see him. And then when they're there, they announced that he wasn't playing. And the message didn't get to everyone in the arena. So while his team was playing, that he's coaching, he's not in uniform, he's just coaching, there's "We Want AI" chants.
I'm surprised no batteries were thrown.
Snowballs, but sure.
Well, I mean, it's inside.
It's July.
Always snowballs.
I expect Philly fans to be armed with D batteries at all times. That's what I've come to expect. Although I have to say, in my four times, two trips as an actual hostile fan into Wells Fargo Center, I have been treated pretty well.
Except it was you want to tell
well,
about the Pirates?
Okay, the one time I was not treated well at Wells Fargo was, well, I mean, I'm a Penguins fan, but I was there.
Was this the Flyers Rangers game?
Yes, I was there for a Flyers Rangers game.
Which was a very good game, by the way.
It was a great game. So I'm a Penguins fan, not even repping the Penguins in any way, shape, or form. I was, however, wearing a Pirates hat. And then some kid starts yelling at me from across the concourse that, like, how much the Pirates suck. Which, at the time, the Pirates were second in the NL Central, and the Phillies had, like, 10 wins.
Okay. The Phillies
So
part of it.
that was my one poor experience at Wells Fargo. Otherwise, I mean, there's a couple times the name of Phil Kessel was desecrated while waiting in line for the bathroom, but it was all in jest, you know. So he's a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. I'm not sure if you knew.
back to
We'll
Wells
get to that a
Fargo
little
thing.
later.
But anyway, so the point of the whole story is that after people I rightfully so were outraged by the fact that they paid to see Allen Iverson and they didn't see Allen Iverson. And the explanation that was given, Ice Cube in it.
You see Stanton somewhere? Sorry.
Yeah, he's insane.
Wow.
He's showing off for his future team. So
we'll get to that later.
So Iverson and Ice Cube both refused, but neither of them made themselves available to the media after the game. But there was a statement released. I don't know whether it was during or after the game that Allen Iverson's doctors told him not to get out of bed, but he still went to the game. Which, if it's true, good for him. If it's true, also, that means that they knew about it. If they told him not to get out of bed, that means that they told him. That means that they knew about this before he. Yeah, that means they knew about this before he got out of bed, which means that they could have easily said something at least Sunday morning, if not probably sometime Friday or Saturday.
See, and if they had announced that, that would have been like a really good look for AI. Like, hey, this guy shouldn't even be out of bed, and he chose to came to Philadelphia anyway.
Yeah.
Instead,
he looks like a bleep.
Talking about how AI, regardless of what his condition was, and then didn't play.
Wait, what was the injury?
I think he was sick. I don't even know.
Are you kidding me?
He skipped the post-game press conference.
Yeah, that's like
Ice Cube didn't show.
Is Ice Cube's on the team?
No, Ice Cube's like the commissioner.
Oh, that's dumb.
He's like the brains behind the league.
Really?
Yeah.
The league, in theory, is a good idea. Do
you know that Michael Rappaport's a sideline reporter?
Oh, no, I know that.
I did see that.
He's so funny, dude.
But besides that, seems lacking. The 4-point shot, it's kind of dumb.
Wait, that's a thing? I thought the Globetrotters just started doing that last year.
No, the Globetrotters have been doing that for a while.
Really?
Okay, so wait, Ray, yeah.
Some really short guy hits the 4-pointers like there's no tomorrow. I went to a game a couple years back, and he was knocking down 4-pointers way back when.
Oh, what do you know?
So I haven't watched it at all, but when I first heard about it, I liked the idea, and I was trying to go yesterday, and then I realized it was conflicting with other things. But have you watched it, and is it actually entertaining?
Some of it, and for some of it, it's pretty good. You can actually get into a game. Some people on the team, you're like, oh, this is kind of fun.
Kwame Brown.
For the mostly it's been Kwame Brown games. I've just wanted to see Kwame Brown play again.
Okay, I have to say, the media's attacks on Kwame Brown are unconstitutional. They are blasphemous. I do not understand how any of these so-called experts have the unmitigated gall to trash the name of one Kwame Brown.
Did I accidentally call Stephen A tonight?
I don't know who you're talking about. But I'm just here to defend what is right and just in the world, and Kwame Brown's name will not be soiled in my presence.
Too late.
I thought he was the highlight of it. AI has played less than 10 minutes a game, even though he's the face of the league.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were going to have AI trot out there for 5 minutes, pass to a couple teammates, and as the coach, I feel like that should have been out there before. AI, I feel like right now is just a ticket grab.
See, and granted, I wasn't around for too long back then, and I definitely wasn't a Sixers fan. But what's the appeal of Allen Iverson to Philly? Just that he was really good? Because
he's really good. He's the guy. He doesn't have the looks of a superstar.
Because he feels like he's like a TO to me. And didn't Philly kind of hate him?
Philly. I think now Philly realizes that he I think the whole playing in the Super Bowl on a broken ankle has made him not hated.
But I mean, that's I get that Philly drafted Iverson, and I can appreciate that. But
Philly
he's
drafted,
And I
Philly drafted him. He's got like the like short guy doesn't like have the physical tools to be a superstar, but he's like
yeah, but like if he's like a jerk, like why is he so
Okay.
beloved?
I think we've
'Cause what he
seen
did on
this
the
the
court.
past couple of years with retirements and stuff. Everyone's career kind of gets romanticized after it's done.
yeah, that too.
Like Aaron Judge.
Where
What?
they didn't like AI while he was here. As the last semblance of any good basketball in this city.
What?
So I think that's kind of part of it now.
Not for long.
But still, the past 4
Someone called
years,
the fence.
they've had like 25 Iverson nights.
That's
They can book Allen Iverson to walk out on the court, ring the bell, and raise some sort of banner. They've done it just as a ticket grab, just like what the Big Three's doing right now. Allen Iverson's the biggest ticket grab right now. A Hall of Fame caliber player who's a pound for pound one of the best players ever.
pound for pound. I love. That's one of
my favorite things in all
ever.
sports, pound for pound.
Pound for pound, because it's a total boxing thing. Because pounds actually matter in that sport, and people just apply it to other things.
Pound for pound, AI
it's
is
just
one of the best
irrelevant.
ever.
Yeah, because he's tiny. Well, no, okay, pound for pound. I
Exactly.
think you might have to give it to Earl Boykin.
Bugsy Bugs?
What was that?
Bugsy Bugs?
I think Earl Boykin might have been shorter.
Oh boy,
Earl Boykin was like 5'7".
5'6".
Earl Boykin. What a. Was he the one?
Say,
Did he get arrested for stealing a
Nate
taco?
Robinson?
He might have. I don't know. No,
I'm
Nate
pretty sure he
Nate
did.
Robinson was taller than Earl Boykin.
No, Nate Robinson was like 5'9". It's really a toss-up of who your favorite short guy is.
My favorite short guy is myself.
That's fair. Pound for pound, Nick Bogatis is the best of a unpopular online show.
I don't know about pound for pound. Let's go inch for inch, foot for foot.
All right. With AI, that he's pretty much just a ticket grab at this point.
Dude, the Tigers are up 6-0 on the Royals. This is a
Insane.
joke.
Oh, by the way, I was thinking about Irving Walker, the Florida point guard. He was arrested for stealing a taco.
Okay, very good. Thanks for that comment.
Got it.
Jason, just making sure we know he's still here. All right. Moving on.
I had to dip. And
Jason, you get to talk a little bit more right now.
Is there any more Philly stuff or?
oh yeah, there's a lot. Oh,
Yeah, I get
yeah, the Phillies.
that's what we got to go with. The Phillies are buyers at the deadline. I am not going to say I told you so, but I told you so. It's happening.
I believe
They're
it. Bro.
buying. They're buying.
I want to say yesterday I made 8 or 9 baseball picks, and I was wrong on all but 2 of them. One was the Cubs, and one was my boy Jeremy Hellickson leading the way.
I know nothing about baseball. This is worse
I
than
know
you've
that.
ever done.
I know that.
I'm gonna stop you there.
Wait. Let me explain myself. I don't know a whole lot about baseball, but I know there was that one year in Tampa Bay where Jeremy Hellickson, Matt Moore, and that other guy were pretty good.
Who's that other guy?
Maybe David Price. I'm not sure. But
Wait,
go
come
on.
on. See,
Continue.
are you old enough to remember when Wade Davis was a mediocre starter on the Rays?
I get Wade Davis. Was there another Wade Davis that pitched for the Astros?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, then yes, I am old enough to remember that. Because I used to have his baseball card in like 2003.
Right. He bet
Yes.
he bet on the Tigers on Saturday night, and he texted me, "Does Brian McCann play for the Tigers?" Because James McCann is the
You sent me
catcher.
that.
Pause. I got a notification on my phone that McCann, like somebody singled and McCann scored. Who does Brian McCann play for?
Astros.
Does he really?
Yes.
Wow.
I did not know that.
Got traded this past
I feel like
offseason.
we should
The
definitely
more
make
you
a
know.
show, like, line, and just read off the rosters of every single MLB team.
No, because
I think me and Cantor are gonna have to do a baseball podcast.
we could easily. We spent 30 minutes texting yesterday just about old players. He found out yesterday that Bud Norris is the closer of the Angels right now.
Wait, can I read some of that text exchange?
Yes.
Please? I need to find the beginning of it.
Find them. Let's talk about.
We'll release those later. Those are for later content. People can read those on their own. What's going on in baseball right now, aside from your gambling problem and Jason's bunch of total unnecessary things?
With my what?
Nick loves a good trade rumor. You've got a lot for us tonight.
Ooh, I do love some good
Give me
trade
some
rumors.
trade rumors.
Is it Matt Duchene? I haven't had a good Matt Duchene rumor in quite some time.
I think he's looking for some baseball rumors.
Oh, okay.
I am looking for some baseball rumors.
Can I put forth some baseball? Well, you already said D. Gordon. Here's just for if people haven't heard D. Gordon, the Phillies are being linked to D. Gordon. What?
Ooh. Wait, isn't he still suspended?
No. That was last year.
I didn't say D. Gordon. I never mentioned D. Gordon.
Did you? You definitely did.
No, I just said the Phillies are buyers.
All right. Well, okay. Well, I just thought D. Gordon. But my question to you is, because I was thinking about this. This time of year, like 2 weeks before the deadline, any sport, you'll get crazy rumors no matter what. Just teams are leaking stuff, players are leaking stuff. How legit do you think this is? Do you think this is from the Marlins trying to show that they actually are interested in trading D. Gordon? Do you think this is from the Phillies to, for some reason, show that they're going to be buyers? Do you who?
This isn't legit. For D. Gordon, I don't think is a legitimate possibility. I think D. Gordon's a name that was probably thrown out there as someone they'd throw in or something. But I don't think D. Gordon's
not a throw-in, though. D. Gordon is 2 years removed from a batting title, and he has 80 grade speed. That's not a throw-in.
But
that was also juicing.
It's also the Marlins.
That's fair.
I don't think they are I don't know what their plan is, so to say. But I don't see any point in the Phillies picking up hold up. I don't see the Phillies picking up a second baseman right now.
Well, that's what do you remember Cesar Hernandez's rookie year? He was playing center field. I feel like any trade, if the Phillies make a trade, especially the way Nick Williams is playing. Sorry, if the Phillies trade for Christian Yelich, if the Phillies trade for Stanton, if the Phillies trade for D. Gordon, if the Phillies trade for anyone, I think it's almost a way of them giving up on Odubel Herrera, or at least putting him on high alert.
Who would the Phillies give up for Stanton?
The thing with Stanton is his contract is so
sell Lehigh Valley to the Marlins.
Yeah. But it's not even that. His contract is so big that if they take on the contract, the Marlins can't ask for an insane haul. And that's why the reason why I think every rumor we hear about the Marlins is not real, fake news. They're in the process of selling their team. They're not.
Can we just talk about sticking to sports here? The combination of Jeb Bush and Pitbull buying the Marlins.
But they're not going to win it because once Michael Jordan gets into something, he's getting it.
Wait, Michael Jordan's in on
it? He joined Jeter.
I don't think that's allowed though, because didn't Mark Cuban try and buy the Stars and they wouldn't let him because he already owned the Mavericks?
The guy who owns the Sixers owns the Devils.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
That's why he's okay with losing.
Yeah. Well, also the GM of staying on topic here, the GM of the Devils, Ray Shero, former GM of the Penguins, just goes out and gets every single ex-Penguin ever.
Yeah. Do you call? Yeah, that's
it's 100% true. I'm surprised he didn't. Well, now the Vegas Golden Knights are basically the Penguins with Marc-Andre Fleury, James Neal, and David Perron.
I didn't even know David Perron was still in the league.
Yeah.
Can we go back to the whole Jeb Bush and Pitbull?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Dollar.
Ellen-
But no. So what I was saying was the reason why I think all these rumors are completely untrue. They're in the process of selling their team, and back in May, when teams and players weren't recklessly leaking rumors to reporters to try to gain leverage in something, everyone was saying the Marlins will not do anything until their team is sold. Because
Hold up, wasn't Derek Jeter with Jeb Bush?
yeah, and then
They
they
split.
were. I think, did we not have this conversation last week that like
No, we didn't.
I had this conversation with someone, but
Wasn't
it wasn't you. Just if you go through Google just since like the middle of April, the timeline of the Marlins sale is really fun. At first, for like 2 weeks, it was Derek Jeter and Jeb Bush were on the edge. Then I think a group with Mitt Romney came in and started.
They won the auction. I thought.
Yeah, that's what people thought. And then a group with Mitt Romney came in,
Oh god.
and they had more money than them. And then Bush and Jeter, Bush and Jeter broke up, and then Bush joined the Romney group. I'm pretty sure. I don't know what's up with Mitt Romney now. I haven't heard his name in like 2 months. So everyone thought Jeter was out of it, and then like 2 weeks ago, Jeter comes in with Jordan.
That's so bizarre to me.
All right.
It's crazy. But they're not gonna, because to get to the point, reportedly the new ownership may like completely like rebuild the front office, and they're not gonna make important moves like trading Stanton, Ozuna, Yelich, or D. Gordon until they have new ownership.
Let me give you a little like business outlook on if they trade Stanton. If they trade Stanton,
You got Bohr.
I'm not going to see Justin Bohr. I'm good. Sell me on something else that the Marlins have besides Giancarlo Stanton.
They have that thing in center field.
Wait, the
wheel.
No,
There's
see,
a
the
slide-
Marlins
There's a
have
slide at my local park. I'm good.
Little Havana.
Nope.
Oh. If Pitbull buys the Marlins,
Miami is poppy.
then he can just be on the mound going dale, dale.
You sold me.
You know what? Now it's a shit. Okay. In 2020, can we see Jeb Bush and Pitbull running together? But Pitbull's president and Jeb Bush is vice president. And it could literally be Mr.
obviously.
Worldwide.
Obviously,
Mr.
I'm not
Worldwide.
giving Jeb Bush the nomination here.
Mr. Worldwide.
He's just the actual political guy to
Is he though? Is he really?
nomination.
I feel like
And Marcel,
what?
I think we need to start a PAC right now and give them some support.
Honestly, yeah, like we have the money.
They can pay us to advertise on the website because obviously Google's not.
Yeah, we need to figure that out. By the way,
Stick to sports.
stick to sports. Yeah, stick to sports. All right. So
What
should
are
I
you
start?
sticking-
Covering, should I head over? Should I head west and cover the 412 real quick?
Yeah, I think we got what we need with the Phillies.
All right. Well, the Pirates suck. I would very much appreciate a Garrett Cole trade. Well, he doesn't have much value because he's awful this year. But
He does. All you need is a couple good starts, because I know you don't know much about what just happened with the Jose Quintana action and all that, but
Who?
do you actually not know the guy the Cubs traded for?
No, yeah, he was on the White Sox. He got traded.
Yeah.
to the-
But it was a similar situation
I thought
where
he was
like
the third baseman, but that's okay.
You follow Big
um,
Cat on,
but the
you know.
Quintana was bad through like early June, and then he was like a top 5 pitcher in the American League coming into the year. He was expected to be traded any day essentially, and he was bad for a while, and then he put together like a 7-start stretch even before Sunday or Saturday where he threw yesterday where he threw 7 shutout innings. He had a 7-start stretch where he had like a 2.70 ERA. So he got his form together again, and they traded him. And especially with a guy like Garrett Cole, if the Pirates put him on trade waivers and he clears, he can have he can have 5 starts to get his form back and then they could trade him because they're definitely having ongoing talks if they're committed to selling. And what's the deal with McCutcheon? Because he's good again.
Yeah, I want him gone because, like, here's the thing. Here's my philosophy, especially with baseball and basketball. If these guys, like football, like if you're in it, you could win it. It's not,
Yeah.
With baseball and basketball, I feel like if these guys aren't going to be in their prime when you're good, you might as well just ship them out. So that's why Andrew McCutcheon is my favorite baseball player, which I mean isn't saying much. He just happens to be on my.
Like
he just happens to be
three names before this week.
Yeah, he just happens to be like the best player on my favorite team.
Either Tommy Joseph is Andrew McCutcheon. And
no, the
Blake
pitcher,
Wagner.
the pitcher, Tommy Joseph.
Yeah, Tommy John too. All right, so like that's my philosophy. I'd rather just ship them out and get some prospects in return. I'd trade pretty much the entire Pirates roster. Marte once he gets back. I think he's getting back soon actually. Marte. Apparently Jung-Ho Kang isn't going to play at all this year because of his DUI and domestic assault in Korea.
Yeah, Starling Marte is not going to get any action this year because when you're suspended, you're ineligible for the playoffs that season.
Oh, okay.
So they're stuck with him.
See, I think Josh Bell's pretty young. I wouldn't mind holding on to him. Cool. I like a lot. But I mean, honestly, like any of these guys who are hitting their prime, the Pirates aren't going to be good anytime soon, so you might as well just ship them off. So
well, the thing is, and
7-3 in their last 10 games.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. But
the Central's a mess too. And because like I didn't really realize this about baseball, but when you see teams like the Cubs and the Indians, and especially the Royals, the window can come when you don't expect it. Like the Indians were 2 innings away from winning a World Series with their best player being their shortstop, who was in the minors 18 months before that. Their best player from the season before didn't play all year. What?
Oh no, Lindor. What? Lindor.
Lindor.
Who you're talking about.
Lindor was in the minors.
I forgot they no longer have Asdrubal Cabrera.
Yeah, he's on the Mets.
Okay.
Lindor was in the minors and started 2015. He was probably their best player. Jose Ramirez wasn't a starting player. He was one of their best players. Michael Brantley was their best player in 2015. He didn't play at all last year.
And no Grady Sizemore either.
No Grady Sizemore. That's a tough loss. But the point is, and then the Cubs.
I couldn't hold that one back.
Trey, you can't forget. You can't forget not having Travis Hafner.
Travis Hafner. Travis Hafner, Grady Sizemore, and Shin-Soo Choo.
Maybe we should have seen this one coming.
Remember, I know he didn't. He might have played for the Indians for a little bit, but remember Kosuke Fukudome?
I was talking to him. I was talking about him to someone yesterday. And it wasn't you. I was having a separate conversation about Kosuke Fukudome yesterday.
Him and Fukudome were hanging out yesterday.
But no, anyway, with baseball, it's all about like team control and eligibility. Because you have once a guy makes his debut, service clock starts. You have 6 years until they become a free agent. The Royals, Hosmer was only in like his third full season. Same thing with Lorenzo Cain. Same thing with Salvador Perez. They kind of hit their prime. They kind of hit their peak out of nowhere. The Cubs, Chris Bryant, again, same situation as Lindor. He was there about did he win that? I think he won the NL MVP last year. Or no, he didn't.
He won the NL. I think he did.
Are
MLB awards even a thing?
He did.
Yeah, I know.
But the point is, like, you can have you're talking about the Pirates now. The Pirates' 2018 MVP could be Austin Meadows. You don't know.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pretend who I know that is.
Their top prospect. He's kind of underperformed in the minors.
No, I like I said, I knew that. That's my outlook on the Pirates as of now. I don't think that, especially without Marte, like you said in the playoffs, I don't think there's really any hope for the season. Even though they're only like 7 games back, I think.
Phillies were 7 years
Can we
back.
go back to Garrett Cole for a second?
Yeah, because Garrett
so
Cole's still intriguing because he has like another year of control left.
like I said, I would like to see a Garrett Cole and Andrew McCutchen trade. Other
Garrett
than that-
Cole is
what?
what Jason was saying with the year of control. Like, who's like the market for a starting pitcher? If a team really needs a starting pitcher, and we
It's
saw
there.
a starting pitcher start to drop, Garrett Cole could become one hot
Commodities.
seat. I don't
Yeah,
know, hot
hot
something.
commodity. Yeah, because
Hot commodity. That's the word I was looking for.
you look at what the market for Quintana, which now that the Quintana trade happened, we kind of see who we hear more about who was interested, what teams made offers, etc. That's one less pitcher on the market now. The Rays, there's reports leaking out about the Rays becoming buyers, which means Chris Archer is off the market. So you essentially have a 2 starting pitcher market right now with Sonny Gray and Garrett Cole. Both of them are controllable.
Meh.
But there's several teams looking for starters.
See,
No one taking a role with Alexson.
I
No,
really
but-
like Hellickson. I wouldn't mind him.
He's been bad since April.
He won yesterday.
Hot commodity.
Pitcher wins, but no, he
There is
actually was
no
good.
market. Hot commodity.
But
We're spending
With
way too
Cole.
much time on the Pirates. Jeez, I wasn't expecting this.
yeah, no, really, because it's intriguing. Because because Garrett Cole's a huge piece in the trade market right now. Because the Pirates really have they definitively said whether or not they're going to buy or sell?
The Pirates don't say anything.
Exactly.
I'm not sure they're even running this team. It might just be like I think just some kids playing the show and has it on sim through like 7 years.
But no, so I've done that before. But the point with Cole
What kind of
is
psycho are you?
Of course, Jason has.
No, not 7 years. Just like simulating it. I control off seasons. I simulate seasons, and then I.
Oh no, I do that too.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
but
that's the way to do it. You really
yeah.
play a 162 game season on the show.
So
Hats off to you for having no social.
thank you. But to get back to Garrett Cole, what makes his case so intriguing? We saw teams like the Astros were rumored to be the team for Quintana really the entire time he was on the market. The Yankees reportedly made an offer. And what we're seeing now, since this Quintana trade, Michael Pineda has been ruled out for the season with an elbow injury, which means the Yankees, who had already been rumored for a starting pitcher, need a starting pitcher even more, and they're going to lose him to free agency. So they have to trade for someone, whether it's going to be Gray or Cole. The Astros, they're missing 2 pieces. They need like one good lefty reliever, which there's several on the market, and they need another starting pitcher behind McCullers and Dallas Keuchel.
Mhm.
And Cole and Gray are both there. So there's definitely, if the Pirates want to sell, there's buyers.
Yeah,
they
and
can-
I think they should, which probably means they'll do absolutely nothing. But
And looking at the package the Cubs got, Eloy Jimenez can be a legitimate stud, and the pitcher they got, Dylan Cease, is one of those like guys in single A that could end up being an ace. He could end up being a like middle reliever. You just don't know, but he has the stuff.
just think about what I'm dealing with here.
For a second?
What?
Can we jump back across the state for the second? Back to
Yeah.
the Phillies.
Yeah.
Check. Nick, you might not know who that is. That's okay.
No, I know who that is. Yeah.
Is he here or gone after July 31st?
Oh, he's 1,000% gone.
Do you think that the market's enough for him to go?
Yes.
I think he'll stay.
Okay. Debate.
But guys, are you keeping a straight face saying that?
Okay, but back to the Pirates. Just think about what I'm dealing with here. Okay. Of course, now I'm blanking on his name. Who is the guy Neil Walker.
Wait.
Okay, the Neil Walker trade.
Is the Pittsburgh fan here complaining about what he has to deal with?
I'm keeping things in perspective. I'm speaking
for you
Hold
now
on,
or
pause,
later.
pause. I'm speaking specifically, exclusively as a Pirates fan here. The Neil Walker trade. We traded Neil Walker for John Neese. Then we traded John Neese for Antonio Bastardo.
Great move.
Okay, last week
Antonio Bastardo back on the market.
last week we DFA'd Bastardo.
Well, hold
Come
on.
back to
See, you can't bring Antonio Bastardo into a conversation here.
No, I love Antonio Bastardo. I was devastated when he
sucks.
DFA'd.
Are Antonio Bastardo away from being a playoff team?
That's true. Okay, so jumping from baseball because it's the only gray spot in my life until today, because Le'Veon Bell has not signed an extension. He has still not signed his franchise tender,
that is what you call a segue.
Which leads me to believe we are headed towards another Mike Wallace situation, which is devastating for me. Okay, little backstory here. I'm going to complain here as a Pittsburgh fan again. Way back when, Mike Wallace was speed demon.
Way back when Mike Wallace was actually good.
Yeah, well, Mike Wallace was good this year. Of course, now that he's on the Ravens.
Yeah.
Way back when Mike Wallace was a legitimate number one threat and a speed demon and one of the best receivers in baseball, Jesus Christ, in football. See, I've been watching too much baseball. This is an issue. He was one of the best receivers in football. He was my favorite player. Okay, I know, hard to believe. And I ended up purchasing a Mike Wallace jersey, not knowing that it was a contract year. He would not sign an extension. He would not sign his franchise tender, held out during camp, it didn't even look like he was going to play the first 6 games of the season. I was very upset with him. I tweeted at him a couple different times. And he ended up demanding a trade because he didn't like the weather in Pittsburgh. So then he went to Miami. And then, poetic justice, he got traded to Minnesota. Okay, so I was happy with that, but devastated that my favorite player left, and I think Le'Veon Bell might be headed towards that. He's a little bit of an – I love Le'Veon Bell. And go figure, I just purchased his jersey this past season. He's a little bit of a nut job, but I believe he's the best all-around running back in the league, and the Steelers are probably going to trade him.
See, what I don't understand is
wait. Before we do actual analysis here, I can feel your pain on this one.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I got a Deshaun Jackson jersey. The devil showed up to Philadelphia and decided to cut him. And
the devil. Charles.
The intern happened to get a LaShawn McCoy. Jason's about to go, oh, that trade wasn't that bad. The trade was bad.
No,
Kiko Alonso.
No, hold on.
For
The trade
Pro Bowl running back. And I'm not talking like Pro Bowl after 20 guys drop out of the Pro Bowl. I'm talking like legitimate top 5 back Pro Bowl.
The trade
and
itself.
McCoy trade tonight. I'm just saying I feel your pain, Nick.
All right.
The trade itself was not bad.
Thoughts on Le'Veon Bell?
Because it freed up $10 million in cap space to then use that $10 million in cap space on DeMarco Murray was really freaking stupid. Keep going.
Okay. Thoughts on Le'Veon Bell not signing an extension, not signing his franchise tender yet, and potentially holding out a camp?
I see. What I don't understand with him is he's a
SoundCloud rapper.
He's a SoundCloud rapper.
This is what we're dealing with at running back.
He acts like he has some stance of leverage here. How many years in his career has he not been either suspended for weed or injured?
Yeah, that's pretty true.
It's like 1 or 0.
None. Actually, most times both.
Most times both.
Because if it wasn't for him being hurt, and I mean, it's not his fault, but it seems that he's a little bit fragile at this point. If it wasn't for him getting hurt, I think the Steelers would have at least been in the Super Bowl this year.
I wouldn't go that far. The AFC Championship would have been a game.
Okay. If we're going with no injuries this year, the autumn wind might have blustered right on into the Super Bowl.
Do you want me to recite the poem?
We'll do it on the close. We'll do it to
Okay,
close.
all right, fair enough. In case anybody's wondering, we are pretty much the East Coast chapter of the
Raiders?
Autumn Wind
We're the
Oakland
East
Raiders
Coast
fan
chapter
club.
of the Black Hole.
Yeah, we're the East Coast Black Hole, even though none of us are Raiders fans.
Well, we'll have to get into whether or not we follow them to Vegas.
Oh, I will. I was definitely will be following them to Las Vegas.
And we will make the Autumn Wind a thing in the desert.
Oh yeah, the desert.
Okay. Anyways, Le'Veon Bell.
Do you think he's
personally
long term?
It's weird for me. I just can't picture him leaving.
He also just tweeted out like an hour ago, I guess I need to be better.
Which he does. He doesn't have to get suspended.
I think
he's stupid.
It's a little bit of self-awareness, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going.
That's not self-awareness. That's pettiness. He's tweeting that like, "Oh, I just put up possibly the best season I could have, and I'm still not getting paid." That's what he's saying. In reality, he does need to get better because he needs to stay off the damn weed.
Stay off.
I called Stephen A.
The unmitigated goal of this man to smoke some Mary Jane. Let me tell you.
But no, seriously, I think there is a bit of pettiness in there. But he has to know in his head that he's been hurt or suspended. Like he has to know that there are reasons why he's not getting his money.
You're forgetting. I guess you skipped this class in Dare.
SoundCloud rapper.
Some of the effects of THC can be memory loss.
He doesn't need the memory. It's all over the place.
Okay. Well, it can impair your motor skills, so he might not be able. Well, he did type out the tweet, but I don't know. I'm trying to defend this man. He's probably my favorite. Well, Antonio Brown's probably my favorite, but I don't know. I'm ready to buy my James Conner jersey. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey. So
okay, very good. Should I go white or black though?
Black.
You think? Just like the basic black? Because my Le'Veon jersey is Color Rush, which I'm a sucker for Color Rush.
That's hot.
Did you see the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs did a Color Rush on Friday?
No, I do have a Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs hat though. I'll never forget that.
Oh yeah, the bacon.
Yeah, I love bacon.
That's like a really popular hat.
I'm gonna switch gears here because we're talking about Pittsburgh and we're talking about running backs. D'Angelo Williams.
Oh yeah.
Today, having
I guess he's not coming back. I just kind of assumed he was going to re-sign with the Steelers, but I guess not.
Well, he said teams now if the Panthers want him. So I don't know if that's
him. Did he say he wouldn't play for the Panthers?
No. So here's the thing. So he said he wouldn't play for the Cowboys. He wouldn't play for initially. He said he wouldn't play the Panthers, and I think there was another team on. No, I think there was another 2 teams on there, but I forgot who they were.
It was 4 teams.
Yeah, it was 4 teams. He said he wouldn't play for the Cowboys because he grew up a 49ers fan. He said,
which I love that, by the way.
I forget who the other 2 were though, but he crossed the Panthers off of the never will play again for because they fired their GM, who according to him was a snake.
Who him and Steve Smith hated,
and Norman, and apparently Cam Newton.
And Norman.
Okay, so wait. So help me out here, because I saw the Steve Smith tweet. Like, don't worry. Like, what was the guy's the GM that they fired?
He was like, "It's okay."
I know. Like, when Steve Smith said like, "It's okay," I know the feeling. I thought like Steve Smith was saying that ownership like screwed all of them over, but like they hate the GM.
They hate the GM because the GM was the one that, in a sense.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that happened.
I'm a sucker for having it at a general manager's expense. Like when Pat McAfee was celebrating when Grigson got the boot.
Before everyone knew he was retiring.
Yeah, it was pretty dope.
It was pretty great.
As far as the other contracts go today, Cousins, no extension. I had a pretty great tweet about it, not gonna lie. Go check me out.
What do you think of the move by the Redskins to release a statement?
Whoa, easy there.
What do you think about the move by the R words to release a statement saying exactly what they offered him?
Oh, they did?
Yep. Wait,
why don't they just ship him off to
You guys talk about it.
I don't understand why they don't just trade him to San Francisco now.
Because San Francisco next year anyways.
So that's what I'm saying. Just trade him to San Francisco now and then tank for Sam Darnold. Well, Sam Darnold might not even be entering the draft. But I think he's only concerned about not playing for the Browns and Jets. So if the Redskins were able to get the number 1 overall pick, they could draft Sam Darnold or Josh Rosen or whoever else they may choose.
Hold up. Here's a big question for you. You say you're trading Cousins to San Francisco. Who in San Francisco do you actually want on your team?
Defense.
Their draft picks, which are going to be top 5 for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
You're just asking for a big haul
quarterback.
draft.
Okay, remember the haul for RG3?
Yes.
That's what a young quarterback goes for. Especially one that's – was he a Pro Bowler this year?
Even though – hold on. You say that. And Goff, too. The haul that the Browns got for Wentz really wasn't that crazy.
Wait, but we're moving off topic. I get that for Cousins. Teams are looking around like, well, you don't want to pay him. Point in that.
Well, they don't want to pay him long term.
Like if you have control of Cousins for a single year,
they do. Can I read what the Redskins said in the statement?
Go right ahead.
So it's the first couple paragraphs are just essentially like, we met him face to face. He's going to play under the franchise tag. Our goal was to sign him. And then he says, on May 2nd, right after, I think this is Bruce Allen. Yeah, it's Bruce Allen. On May 2nd, right after the draft, we made Kirk an offer that included the highest fully guaranteed amount upon signing for a quarterback in NFL history, $53 million, and guaranteed a total of $72 million for injury. The deal would have made him at least the second highest paid player by average per year in NFL history. But despite our repeated attempts, we have not received any offer from Kirk's agent this year. Kirk has made it clear that he prefers to play on a year-to-year basis. While we would have liked to work out a long-term contract before the season, we accept his decision. So he pretty much just said we wanted to sign him long-term. He didn't want to. And he gave which bananas move. I've never seen this before. He said flat out the exact numbers that they offered him.
Well, if anything, that reverses what I just said.
Yeah.
And it's not that they don't want him. It's that he doesn't want them.
Which is totally understandable.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't want to play for the R words. That organization's a mess.
Yeah.
If Jerry Jones didn't exist, Dan Snyder would be my least favorite owner in all of sports.
You dislike Jerry Jones more than you dislike Dan Snyder?
Yes.
Dan Snyder's genuinely.
Dan Snyder didn't make it with Chris Christie during a playoff game.
You have a guy who's supposed to represent the state of New Jersey, which half of it is filled with Eagles fans, sitting in a box. That man, who I won't name again, his name just sends a chill down my back. They cut to him after every single good play.
Hold up. So you hate Jerry Jones? You hate Jerry Jones just because of Chris Christie?
No, Bogatis. This is where we're having a Philly-Pittsburgh disconnect here. We just hate Jerry Jones.
Why do you hate Jerry Jones? Jerry Jones.
Why don't we hate Jerry Jones is the question.
I get why you hate the Cowboys, but Jerry Jones is just like a fun-loving guy. Dan Snyder is like a genuinely awful human being.
No! Look at the culture. Look at the culture.
Wait, time out. Dan Snyder
Cowboy is involved in an incident. And this is an enabling organization. This organization enables their players to do whatever they want.
Which we just saw.
They get all.
Deshaun Jackson was literally in a gang.
And Chip Kelly didn't
Don't
enable him.
even. Don't even. I would no. We're not standing for this right now. Don't even you try dragging the name through the mud like Charles did. Charles was trying. Those rumors were released by Charles. Decision with his little egomaniac head that he didn't want Deshaun Jackson on his team.
Why didn't he want Deshaun Jackson? Because he was a gang member.
Because he thought in his head he didn't need talent. This was the Charles show, and anyone who was bigger than him, and Deshaun Jackson was bigger than him, Deshaun Jackson was what he needed.
Deshaun Jackson's like 5'10".
Spread the field. Don't even start arguing with me on this that the Eagles did not need Deshaun Jackson. We went over this before.
Deshaun Jackson.
Small TV in the corner that you don't realize until it's gone.
Okay, that was my analogy. I'm not even get into it, but I feel like Deshaun Jackson was at least the second fastest blood in the Philadelphia area.
This man knows how to fire you up, Brandon. I hope Liverpool smokes a ton of weed before this season and gets suspended again.
Wait, what?
Tonight, Nick Bogatis.
Wait, what? I missed what just happened. Should I move on to the Penguins?
Please.
All right. So the search for a third-line center continues. Apparently, Jordan Staal isn't available, which I was really hoping for, especially if Carolina could retain some salary. It would, if the Penguins were to trade Ole Mata for Jordan Staal, it would only amount to about an extra $2 million in of a cap hit. So that's more than doable for the Penguins. I think they have like 14 mil available. They're in arbitration for Connor Sheary and Brian Dumoulin, which is a little bit iffy, but we'll see how that turns out. I think Connor Sheary ends up getting shipped out in one of these deals. I'm still holding out for Matt Duchene or Alexei Alchenyuk, but
so wait, if they're trading Connor Sheary, are they like, are they tearing apart the team besides Crosby, Malkin, Kessel?
I'm thinking once they get Dumoulin's contract set up, and I'm thinking because they're letting Sheary go to arbitration, they're going to deal him. So they can get rid of Sheary and either call up a guy from they can bring up Sprong, they can bring up Aston Reese, or they can sign Yager.
Oh.
What do you, dude? He's 46.
He's 45, actually.
Okay, he's going to be turning 46, and he's still better than half the guy. He's probably the best free agent available.
All right. Yeah.
Okay,
whatever.
But
I'd rather have Pavel Datsyuk.
Pavel Datsyuk is playing in the KHL, dog.
I'd rather have him.
Oh, okay, very good. And I'd rather have Valeri Nichushkin. I'd rather have Ilya Kovalchuk, but it's not happening. The real thing I want to talk about are I don't understand the media, okay? Whatever Phil Kessel does, in whatever city it may be in, the media just wants to drive him out for no good reason. Phil Kessel could cure cancer tomorrow, and there would still be a Penguins beat writer begging for him to get traded. He's averaging over a point per game in the playoffs. He was robbed of the Conn Smythe by Sidney Crosby last season. He was incredible this season. And for some reason, they think Phil Kessel's trade bait just because our assistant coach went to Arizona, and apparently he was the Kessel whisperer. Okay, that makes sense. Jim Rutherford came out this week and said the rumors weren't true and Phil Kessel probably won't be traded, which first of all is not good enough for me. Probably, no. Phil Kessel is definitely not getting traded for anything. I don't care if we're getting Gretzky on it, if I'm being honest with you. I don't care if we're getting Gretzky.
Well, Gretzky right now doesn't
I would
look
let a dude who's like 55.
Gretzky, we could be getting Gretzky, McDavid, Yager, and 3 first rounders. I would not. No, not a chance.
What if you throw in Lemieux?
We have Lemieux. He owns the team.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you had to buy them because your fan base sucks and they were about to move to Kansas City. My bad.
That was how long ago?
That's why Lemieux owns the team.
Okay, whatever.
I mean,
I'm not.
He went
I'm
there.
not really attending games in at PPG Paints, so that doesn't affect me. I'm here for Penguins Twitter and Phil Kessel. That's about it.
I'm here for the Patrick Hornquist hamster gifts.
Dude, those get me every time. But Ray, I know you're not too well versed in the world of hockey, but Cantor, who do you think the Pens should be going after for the third line center spot? Personally, I think Galchenyuk would be the better option because he's an RFA. But I would love Matt Duchene.
I don't necessarily know what they're doing. I'm more well versed than Ray. I'm less well versed than you. But the way I don't know what they're doing. Like they're not tearing their team apart, but it seems like I don't know whether it's strictly cap related moves or like they traded for Ryan Reeves. Like that made
don't bring that up.
They're doing things that are not making any sense for a team that's trying to win a cup again.
I think no matter what happens, the Penguins will be contending and will beat Washington in the second round. But
on here,
let me just finish this point and you can get to it. So, I think they're waiting for the Dumoulin contract to be settled because he'll be staying for the long run. The issue is they just re-signed Pouliot. The roster's full of left-handed defensemen, so I'm thinking they're going to be shipping out Ole Mata, another left-hander, and be
only a matter of time.
They're going to be shipping out Ole Mata for a third line center, and then I guess they'll sign a right-handed defenseman or trade someone else for maybe trade Sherry for a solid top four guy right-hander because it's looking like right now Ole Mata, Letang, Hunwick or Dumoulin, Schultz, and then Pouliot and Hunwick or Dumoulin. I'm okay with that. I think that team could win a cup, but the third line center needs to be sorted out. I think you can get Galchenyuk for a first round pick and maybe a third round pick, with his contract status.
You can always get Giroux.
Yeah, I think Giroux's available, but I don't think the Flyers would send him to Pittsburgh.
I don't because the problem is it's one of those things where I think the perceived value and whether or not it's actually his fair market value, the Flyers aren't gonna just give him up unless they get a really good offer. Like it's one of those. Like I forget what I saw a baseball.
If we're talking center,
what?
I heard the Eagles might be shopping Jason Kelce.
Well,
you guys.
You had a hockey point. You can go ahead.
No, that was the hockey point. I was waiting to add that in.
Okay, that's
centers.
That's like Cantor level.
Well, he is a center.
Isn't Brian Boyle still available?
I read the qualifications. That's everything you need.
I don't know. Last I checked, Brian Boyle was on the Lightning. I don't know who he's on now.
No, he's a free agent. I don't know if anybody signed him. But I'd be okay with that. If Matt Cullen retires, which he might still come back and play the fourth line. If Matt Cullen retires, Carter Rowney on the fourth line, then Brian Boyle on the third, sign Yager, and then trade Sherry or whoever for a right-handed defenseman, and then trade Ole Mata for whatever. Because Ole Mata's on a really good contract, and for a guy coming off cancer and some other injury, he's pretty good and has a lot of upside. I just don't particularly like the way he's been playing. And I'd be happy to ship him off, as well as Pouliot. But I think Pouliot needs this year to develop, and we'll see where it goes.
Can I just acknowledge how sad it is that we're not sure to where a decent hockey player is signed, but we're absolutely positive what shoe Lonzo Ball wore in his last summer league game?
Adidas, right?
Yeah, I thought
Under Armour.
Okay,
no, it was Under Armour. It was the Currys.
Okay, this is speaking as
a
former owner of a pair of Spalding basketball shoes. They were the Jimmer Fredette shoes. Why is Under Armour like a legitimate player here?
Because they have Steph Curry.
Because Nike messed
Yeah,
up.
why did Steph Curry sign with Under? That's the
Nike
dumbest thing
messed
I've
up
ever
his
heard.
presentation.
Because Steph
Nike
Curry
messed that up.
probably signed with Under Armour before he was a 2-time MVP. Like that was definitely a value get for them.
He messed up the meeting.
No, I
Look it
understand
up.
that they spelled his name wrong. Blah blah blah.
No, it was the meeting for Kevin Durant. Their entire presentation was for Kevin Durant.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, Nike.
Steph Curry got Kevin Durant's presentation before he was Kevin Durant's teammate.
I think. Hold on. I think there's.
I'll bring this up on the show because we're like running low on time here.
Okay.
All right,
Should I run through the great baseball talk of 2017 with me and Cantor?
Yeah, and then
Put
do
that
that.
on
We can close
Twitter
it.
later for people to read so they can come watch the show based on the.
Yeah, I'll put that on a blog.
All right.
We good?
We somehow made it through July talk long. So props to us.
Well, how many weeks left in July? 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess our last show will be in July, which
MLB
we'll probably
trade deadline 2 weeks from now.
What?
MLB trade deadline 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. That's where we're okay. All right, I think that's all we got from tonight. Any last thoughts from the two of you?
Phil Kessel will not be traded, folks.
Confirmed. And Jason will be looking something up that he'll start talking about after the show, and we'll realize that it was a good idea, but we don't have time for it. So for Jason Cantor,
they called Steph Curry like Steven or something.
No, I know.
Follow all of us on Twitter. They're going to cut off their own ats, so I don't really care. At Jason Cantor BTB, at Ray Dunn BTB, bell to keep up with the website and all of these horrible shows that we put together. At some point, it'll be more professional.
Probably not.
And for the guy that was sitting in the back making comments over my shoulder at nmarchetti1209.
Is he going to be an intern?
This week, we weren't really hurting without him. Thank you all for watching. All of you 0 right now. We'll see you next week.
Is it really?